Hello everyone, this is Dikshak Bhatt from the team OIG. On behalf of our team, I welcome you all again on this virtual platform. And today we have a wonderful speaker all the way from New Delhi to discuss with a wonderful topic. Today's topic is the homeopathy. So we will look forward in the topic and with wonderful speaker, Miss Muskan Gaur. Muskan is a final year Nehru homeopathic medical student and from New Delhi. She is from New Delhi.
Yeah.
She has actively taken part in the college campus for the orator and dedicated towards the healing people in the holistic way. So, on behalf of our team, I welcome you, Muskan, on this virtual platform, and thank you so much for joining with us. I hope I haven't missed anything from the introduction. So, even if I miss, you can just carry on with your self introduction.
Thank you so much for such a nice introduction. Without any delay, let's just start. And first of all, I would like to tell the students because we have students from different fields right now who would be hearing this different fields like yoga, naturopathy, Ayurvedic, homeopathic. Everybody is going to listen this. So first of all, I would like to tell why homeopathy was discovered. Like what was the exact reason why it was discovered? What was the need at that time? Because allopathy was going on at that time. There were different methods of treatment. There was even ayurveda also, natural ways also, but why homeopathy? So let's start. Hahnemann himself was an allopath. He was an allopath. He was born on 11th April 1755 AD. So there's a long history. Where did he study? Where did he go? How many wives he had? We will not go into that. It will be very boring. So we'll directly go why he discovered homeopathy. So he was a great translator also. At his time, he was a great translator. He used to translate different languages. He knew Greek, Spanish, French, English, every language, like many languages he knew. So once he was translating a book. It was a book written by Dr. Cullen. It was a book named a treatise on materia medica. So when he was translating that book, he saw an article. The article was written about the how cinchona bark. You know cinchona bark, how its bitterness. It's very bitter in taste. So how it is able to treat people with its bitterness. So Hahnemann got confused. But is it? It's only bitter. So how is it even treating people? So what he did? What did he do? He took the cinchona bark. He just took the cinchona bark himself, 4 grams of cinchona bark, and he developed malaria-like symptoms. And he was like, "What is happening with me?" He developed malaria-like symptoms, and what he did, he also gave the bark to his friends also. Then they also developed malaria-like symptoms. So he started doing such experiments with different plants whose medicinal properties were known. Like there are many plants like tulsi and herbs, different
Yeah.
herbs you must know, whose medicine properties are known. So he started taking all himself and giving it to his friends also. So he saw that he was developing the same symptoms the drug or the plant was meant to cure. So he was like, so he came to the conclusion that similar substances are able to cure the similar medicines. So like if we take so he came to the conclusion that cinchona bark is can be used for the treatment of malaria, just because he is the cinchona bark is developing malaria like symptoms in the individuals of healthy persons. So the homeopathy all is based on the main principle is similia similibus curantur. We give similar substances to healthy individuals, and it cures the similar diseases the person is suffering from. The main
Okay.
principle of the yeah. So the main principle of homeopathy is similia similibus curantur. And he opted for this method because in allopathy they used to give crude substances, large substances whose medicinal properties were not even known, and it was not even similar to the person's symptoms also. Like if the person is suffering from fever, they used to give purgatives.
Yeah.
They had this ideology that if we give purgatives to the individual, the different the symptoms that are causing in the bowel, it will
Okay.
remove it. And they were also causing at that time, the treatment was a very very harmful way of treating. They used to do bloodletting, venesections. They used to think that if we remove all the blood from the body, it will treat the patient. So that was allopathy at that time. So that is why he opted for this method. He started, then he started drug proving on different individuals, different medicinal substances. He proved so many medicinal substances. And for the first very time, people were against it. People were like, no, it won't happen. It can't treat people. How can you treat patients with, medicinal substances, animal substances? How can you treat them? So he started writing his journals, publishing different journals. He also developed different organons to, the tell. And
Hmm.
always his father used to tell, hold fast which is correct. He knew that this method is going to do something. This method will going to treat patient in a holistic way. Why do we call homeopathy as a holistic way? Do you know why do we call it as a holistic way?
Because I think I believe that the homeopathy treats for the person individuality. So that is
Yeah,
why.
very correct, very correct. Because homeopathy treats the person himself. It never treats the disease. It will never treat the disease. It will always, first, it will always see the person as a whole. In other systems of medicine, they have different particular medicines for the particular disease. But in homeopathy as such, there is no particular medicine for a particular disease. We have, that is why it even becomes difficult for using this method of treatment. And why it becomes difficult? Because the physician himself has to take the whole case, has to take the whole
Yeah.
history, has to go his past history, physical history, mental journals, everything, and then only he can, choose a particular drug for the patient. It becomes difficult. But if we use such method of treatment, the person is treated as a whole. Even sometimes the patients come, I have seen patients in OPD, they come and they tell, like, I was also developing this stomach ache also. I gave the medicine for headache. He was like, I was also developing the stomach ache, but it is also cured with your medicine. Like, how? Just because we are treating the patient as a whole. I am not giving the patient a disease for fever or headache.
Yeah, actually, allopathy does the same thing. It gives the symptomatic treatment. That is why it's
Symptomatic
different.
treatment.
Yeah.
He was against the symptomatic treatment. That, and it's not like that the patient cannot be treated by the symptomatic treatment. The patient can be treated, but he will develop the symptoms again after a period of time. He will develop the symptoms again, and this is not treatment. What is the
Yeah, it's a
physician?
separation.
What is the physician's high and only mission? Like, we are physicians, what is our mission? It is, our mission is to restore the sick to health, to cure as it is termed, in the most rapid, gentle, and permanent way, without causing any
Definitely.
harm to the
Yeah.
patient from the roots. And if there is any harm even after the medicine, if there are any complications even after the medicine, then what is the point of the treatment, right?
Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah. So Hahnemann developed some fundamental principles of homeopathy. The main basic on which the homeopathy is based, like, it's, the three-legged stool, we can say.
Yeah.
Homeopathy is based on that. And if the physician is following that principles, he is definitely going to cure the patient. Definitely. The cure will be achieved somehow. Okay. So let's talk about the fundamental principles then. What are the principles, so that students can also know what it is based on,
Yeah.
right?
Actually.
Yeah. So let's start with the first principle. The first principle was law of similia only. Law of similia. Actually, the nature's law of cure was known a long time before, at the time of Hippocrates also. Hippocrates knew the nature's law of cure. That is, likes cure likes,
Yeah.
obviously.
Exactly. It's the same principle of the naturopathy as well.
Okay, yeah, okay. I would love to know what is the principle of naturopathy.
It's the same. We treat the individual, not we treat the whole person as well, and we treat for the root cause as well. We are not
See,
going for the symptomatic treatment.
and never going for the symptomatic treatment actually. Okay, so it was, first principle was based on similia similibus curenter. The Hahnemann actually modified the nature's law of cure, similia similibus curenter, and on the basis of that, I just told that he proved different medicines
Yeah.
and wrote it in the Materia Medica, what we study nowadays. Okay. The second main principle was law of simplex. Simplex means we only do monopharmacy. We don't do polypharmacy. We don't give so many medicines to a person. We can't give so many, because actually the thing is, we do drug proving on healthy human beings of all age, of all constitutions. We don't do drug proving on sick individuals, right? And we don't do drug proving on animals also. So if we are doing drug proving on a healthy individual, we are giving a medicine to a healthy individual, he'll develop some symptoms, right?
Exactly.
Give a single medicine. That is why we can note the symptoms that come from the drug proving in our materia medica, right? But if we are giving so many medicines to the patients, then how will we know that which medicine is bringing what symptoms?
And there also medicines. I believe that medicines are not a particular cure. We need to cure from the root, so we need to focus
Yeah,
on particular things.
particular things. So while we are doing drug proving on healthy individual in homeopathy, we are giving only single simple medicines to the person. That is why we recommend monopharmacy only, because if I'm giving a patient a medicine for some particular symptoms, I took the case, there were some particular symptoms, I gave the medicine, I will only get to know that the my medicine that I have given is correct or not if I've given only a single simple medicine. If I give a mixture, let's consider, if I
And
give a mixture, I give 5 6 medicines to the person, like, take it. He'll How will I know? He'll get treated. He will get treated eventually, but how will I know which medicine was treating the person? It's not our principle. It's not our principle. We only give single simple dose to a person, and if the dose is correct, if the single medicine is given which is correct, the patient will get treated. But if the physician has some fault in himself, he has not taken the case properly, if he's biased, he's doing malobservation, then the person won't be get treated. So the second principle is law of simplex. That is, we do.
also, I believe that the patients also would like to, eat just less medicines, not the much medicine. So if patient will follow
Yeah,
only the
nowadays,
physician who gives a one or two medicines, little bit only. But
because
right now we are having cocktails of medicines.
many
One should
many
be.
and even physicians are giving 7 8 medicines to a person, go take it. And people believe if we are taking so many large medicines, we'll get treated, because they're like, we are eating something, yeah, we'll get treated after eating so many medicines. There is this
Yeah,
thought, I don't know why.
definitely this thinking.
Okay, so the second principle is that it's one of the cardinal principles. And the third principle is law of minimum dose. Minimum dose, again, why was Hahnemann up to homeopathy? Why? Because at that time the physicians were giving crude doses, large doses in large amount, and he was like, it is not treatment, it is not a gentle treatment, it is not a permanent treatment. You can't give large doses to a patient which will eventually cause some damage to the body, right?
Definitely.
Third principle what he developed was law of simplex, like simple law of simple and law of minimum dose, like the minimum dose which is able to bring out the curative action from the body, we can give that to the patient. The minimum dose which is required to treat the patient, which will not cause any aggravation in the body, that we can give. And how do we decide, like, how the some of the students come to me and they're like, ma'am, how do we decide for the minimum dose? It always comes from experience. It comes from experience, it comes from the basis of your case taking. It depends upon the case also. If you are treating a acute case, you can repeat the remedy in short intervals, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. If you are treating a chronic, deep chronic case, a long case from a long time, like 5 to 6 years back case, then you have to use small doses in small time. So there are many principles, like many things Hahnemann has said, and if you do, deep study, then only you will get to know. Students are like,
Yes,
ma'am, which potency, ma'am, which dose to give. You have to study, you have to experience, you have to have that practical knowledge to prescribe to the patients. Yeah.
so it's actually basically depend on the diagnosis perfectly. So if you diagnose perfectly, then and it, homeopathy is one minimum medicine is enough, right?
Actually, I would like to do some changes in this sentence. Diagnosis is a part of homeopathy. We need to know the diagnosis, right? For every disease, we need to
Hmm.
know the diagnosis. But what Hahnemann used to consider was, he knew he was an allopath basically earlier, so he knew the
Yeah.
diagnosis. He was a very good physician as well. So after even knowing the diagnosis, you have to treat the patient as a whole, because if you know what will be the difference in other fields of medicine and ours, if we give medicine on the basis of the diagnosis, we don't give medicine on the basis of the diagnosis. Like if the
Okay.
patient is suffering from TB, or if the patient is suffering from fever, stomach ache, if the patient is suffering from any disease, we don't give the medicine on the basis of the diagnosis. Diagnosis definitely helps. And what is the purpose? Then you'll ask, what is the purpose of diagnosis then, if you're not giving on the basis of diagnosis? What diagnosis helps us in, it helps us to know the stage of the disease, if this
Yeah.
disease
Okay.
is curable, if the disease is curable or not. If we know the diagnosis, if I know that the person is suffering from brain cancer or something, I would know the stage of the disease. I would know that it's in my hands or it's not in my hands to treat the patient or not. Every science has its limitations also. We cannot treat everything. Not any science can treat everything. There are some limitations. So diagnosis only helps us, like what is the diagnosis? How do we diagnose? X-ray, CT, MRI, blood test, HB, LFT, KFT, many tests. So diagnosis only helps us to know the stage of the disease. It's curable or uncurable, or can we suppress, even if the case is uncurable, we can suppress the symptoms. If it's curable, we can cure according to the individuality of the patient. So diagnosis basically helps, but it's not the whole and sole aim of the treatment, right?
Okay.
That is the thing. So these three principles I told you now, it's the three principles, they are the cardinal principles of homeopathy: minimum dose, simplex, and similia. They're the three stools of homeopathy, on three-legged stool, we can say it. So on that basis, if the patient, if the physician is giving the medicine, the patient is definitely cured. And there are other fundamental principles also. The first three are these only. There are others also. I'll give you just the gist of every principle so
Okay.
that.
So before we go further, I have just few questions regarding that.
Why not?
So that how you decide that the which medicine should be preferable for the particular patient, as that we are deciding for the whole person. So I believe each and every person needs different kind of treatment
For
and
sure.
different kind of medicine. So
Hmm.
how do you decide? Because if you are diagnosis or different diseases, because in naturopathy we diagnose this particular from the symptom and we give the treatment according to that. But we
Okay.
treat from
Okay.
the root cause.
Okay. So you
So in home,
you also use diagnosis, and plus you treat from the root cause. That is what you
yeah,
are saying,
yeah,
and you're asking how do we give?
yeah, exactly.
What we basically do is, we like, if the patient comes to a doctor, okay, if he's telling you, sir, I'm having a great headache, severe headache, from like from the past 2 days. Okay, then we ask the
Okay.
patient headache. Then the patient
So
says
your
that,
voice is in between and your voice was breaking. So can you just repeat that?
yeah, sure. Is it audible now?
Yeah, yeah, it's audible.
Okay. So if the patient is coming and he's saying that, ma'am, I'm having a headache from the last
Okay.
one. So if I'm asking the patient, how did you develop that headache? How did it develop? So the patient tells me that I went in sun, I played in sun, then I started having headache, severe headache. So we have medicines. We have 100 medicines on headache. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And every medicine are based on some symptom. On, like, if such case is coming to me, I'll give Glonine to the patient, because in that particular drug, there's written that the patient is having headache from sun, if he's working from sun. And if another person with headache comes, he's saying that, ma'am, I'm having thrombing headache, my face is red, flushed face, he's having great headache, developing fever also with headache, I'll give him belladonna. So there are different drugs according to, there are headache in many medicines, but I need to know how to distinguish one headache from the other headache. So that is why our pathy becomes a little bit difficult, because we have to learn all the
Uh,
symptoms of that particular. So the drug is proved. Belladonna has 100 symptoms in it, regarding headache, mouth, GIT, respi, everything. But I need to know how to differentiate. So it becomes a little
basically,
bit difficult,
you
but
need to
it comes
memorize
with it.
so many.
Yeah, the main question comes for memory, but it takes time, but it's nice. So
One
this
question
is
is,
just a
yeah,
small
continue.
example. I just gave just a small example just to be clear how we give medicine. There are many, but we also take the whole case taking if it's a chronic case. It was just an acute case. Headache is an acute case, right? But if the patient has a chronic case, then we do case taking. We do full case taking, all the symptoms from, if what is the person having, all the symptoms. Then according to that, we have a subject called repertory. Repertory helps us in organizing different medicines into different parts, and according to that, the medicine which is coming in the top, we can give that medicine to the person.
Okay, so
That is the
basically
way.
you guys are
So,
having, lots of medicines to memorize, and then you can particularly distinguish between the one medicine and two medicines for even one
lots of
symptom as
medicine
well.
and lots of symptoms.
Yeah, so that's a tough task, I believe, because in
Yeah, it
naturopathy
is.
we are drugless therapy. We don't prescribe drugs. We just give them herbs, and we treat to the basis of the herbs.
That is amazing.
So we are drugless therapy, so that is why it's a little bit different here, I find. One more
Mm-hmm.
question is that homeopathy is based on which kind of a principles? For example, like Ayurveda is based on a Vat, Pitta, Kapha, three type of doshas,
Yeah, okay.
and naturopathy is based on Panch Mahaput, the five elements, five penta elements theory.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
it's
have
like
we have studied about this also. Like
okay,
we are made to study all the different kind of fields in our first year. Chinese medicine, Egyptian medicine, naturopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, just to know their principle.
okay.
Okay.
So according to that, homeopathy is based on which kind of a thing?
Yeah, so the first thing I said was homeopathy is based on the similar principle. There are no such, it's not like it's based on that Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, and there are like different. It's not based on the different elements of the nature. It's
Okay,
based on the nature's law. Its principle is according to the law of cure. Nature's law of cure says that the likes cure likes,
yeah,
and
that's
Hahnemann
also
only
same.
modified the principle. The likes cured be likes. He just modified the nature's law of cure. So homeopathy is basically based on the principle of the nature's law of cure.
Okay, in naturopathy, we believe that the
It's not
human
based
body is,
on,
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
you were saying.
Continue.
Okay, so
No,
in
you were saying naturopathy is based on different.
we just believe that the human body is made up of five elements, so we treat according to patient to through the five elements theory. So it's like that. Anything theory
Okay,
like that,
five
and
element theory.
yeah. Is there anything in homeopathy that a
No,
human body you
no such theory.
just so you just go with the symptoms and complaints of the patient, right?
Yeah. Whole patient. We just go with the whole patient. Not it is not based on the elements of the nature, but on the nature's law of cure. Not on the elements. Like we don't have such
Okay.
elements. Vat, Pitta, Kapha, and five elements and different. Even Siddha Unani also have elements. They're also based on elements, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't deal with that.
Okay. So naturopathy is particularly based on the person and having the individuality symptoms. Like a person is having different symptoms, so you treat according to that. Uh, in homeopathy, you treat according to that. In naturopathy, we treat according to the patients. Like if a patient is coming with similar of symptoms, then we distinguish among which of the penta elements has been, vitiated. So if a penta element is vitiated, then we treat according to that basic particular herbs and particular treatments. We don't give them drugs. But I believe the nature's law is
Okay,
similar
this is
because
some
we
fascinating way of treatment.
yeah. But ultimately the goal
Nature's
is
law is
same.
similar.
Yeah, nature's law is
It
similar.
depends upon. Yeah, the goal is same. Goal is same. The goal is to treat the patient
Yeah,
in the most holistic and the most natural way from its root cause. The goal is similar, and not causing any damage to the patient, not giving large amount of drugs to the patient.
yeah,
That is our
exactly.
main motto of treating. Any physician's motto. Okay. Any further questions?
No, you can continue with the further.
Okay, let's continue. So I just told you about the three cardinal principles of homeopathy. So let's just go again about the different more principles that he gave on which homeopathy is based, right? So let's talk about the doctrine of drug proving. So what Hahnemann discovered was that we have to do drug proving to know the symptoms of different medicines. We can't just give medicines to the patient without anything, without knowing the symptom. So first of all, it was even difficult for Hahnemann also, to do so many drug provings on different people, and that to healthy individuals, and then noting down the symptoms so that the students further can study those
Yeah.
symptoms. He also said the sentence. He also said the sentence that I don't know. I have been putting things into patients that I know little, and medicines that I know less about. He also gave this sentence while he was doing drug proving. So first of all, he always healthy human beings, healthy individuals, all the ages, all the constitutions, and not on animals. Why not on animals? Because if we do drug proving on animals, we will not be able to know the mental symptoms. We also treat we can't get mental symptoms. And on and the and if we do drug proving on animals, we cannot know what are the symptoms that the animal is suffering from. He won't tell us the symptoms, right? That is why we do the drug proving on human beings, to know the physical symptoms, to know the mental symptoms. Because if we do drug proving on a individual, right? If you consider an individual, he'll come, he'll say, then I am developing hello
Hello.
hello yeah.
Yeah. Your video is stopped, and I cannot see you right now. So I think there is a internet issue in between.
Am I audible
Yeah, you are audible. You are perfectly
now?
now. Now it's perfect. In between your so
Okay,
whatever you were saying
okay,
was just been cut off.
okay. Okay, fine. Okay, let's go. Let's go again about it. See, the main motto of doing drug proving on animals and not doing on animal is we cannot tell the mental symptoms and physical symptoms, because the animal won't come and tell us the mental symptoms, right? And the
Yeah,
physical symptoms.
definitely.
Only healthy human can tell us that if we gave a drug to individual, he'll come and say that I'm developing these symptoms, I have developed these symptoms, mental symptoms also. But there is a disadvantage of doing healthy human drug proving, that we cannot, prove new medicine. Like, it is we cannot prove medicines that are dangerous, that are toxic, because in homeopathy we also develop drugs that are toxic, that are dangerous. I
Muskan,
think
you
there is
are
some
stopped.
glitch.
Yeah, yeah. Now you are back.
I don't know what glitch is happening.
It's okay now. You can
I don't
continue.
know
You
what is
just said that
happening.
in homeopathy, then you just left.
Uh, okay, okay. So, but the main disadvantage of doing healthy human drug proving is that we cannot prove toxic drugs on healthy human beings. They are dangerous, because in
Yeah.
homeopathy we also give no so you do you know no swords and sarcodes?
No, not
You
particularly.
won't know. Yeah. Actually, we also treat the patient by dynamization of different snake poisons, different poisons, and
Yeah.
we cannot prove them on healthy human beings. They are toxic. So there is one disadvantage of doing healthy human drug proving, that we cannot prove such toxic drugs. Otherwise, just to know the mentals and physicals, we have to do the drug proving on human beings. And in different fields of medicine, they do drug proving on animals only, not on human beings. So one of the principle is doctrine of drug proving that Hahnemann gave. Fine.
That is also
Okay.
interesting topic.
Yeah. Hahnemann gave so many topics in his time. Okay. So the next is the doctrine of vital force. Now you will ask me, what is vital force? Do you know what is vital force?
Actually, I know, but I think you should explain it to the audience here. So it will be
Yeah,
better.
sure. See, vital force, Hahnemann considered that there is some dynamic force in our body. some dynamic force which is maintaining the harmonious function of all the systems of our body. We cannot feel it, we cannot see it. It is an autocratic, autonomic, unintelligent force, but there is some force. He named it as vital force. And if a person is suffering from any disease, so there is some derangement of the vital force of the body. That is why the person is suffering from diseases.
Okay.
Yeah, this theory he gave, that this vital force, this dynamic vital force is only protecting us from all the diseases. And if there is some derangement, the patient will suffer. And with our dynamic medicines, why did he call medicines dynamic? Do you know?
No particular, I cannot give my assumptions on here.
Yeah, I can understand. See, why he called our medicines dynamic, because uh, there are some processes of dynamization. Like we also make medicines from even salt. There is this medicine called Natrum muriaticum. We make it, but we cannot just give salt to a patient, right? We cannot give salt. We dynamize the medicines. There are some processes known as trituration and succussion. We dynamize the crude medicines so that their dynamic powers are released and their strength is increased. Their quantity is decreased, but the quality of the medicine is increased. That is why he named the medicines dynamic. We do not just give crude medicines. We dynamize the medicines by different processes in the laboratories and everything. And then we give the medicines in some particular doses. So that is why the medicines are dynamized. That is why they don't cause any harm, because the quantity of medicine is very less, but the quality and the features that the medicine is holding, that are very high. So that is why he called our medicines dynamic. So he said that if there's a dynamic force in the body, it can only be treated by the dynamic medicines only. So trituration is done for the insoluble substances, and succussion is done for the soluble substances. And this is actually the third principle of theory of dynamization, because we only do dynamization so that there is no particular aggravation from any, like there is a medicine lachesis. It is made from surukuku snake poison. It holds many advantages, like many, if I tell you, it is a polycrest remedy, and it has got different actions on different symptoms, systems of our body. And we can't just give poison to a patient. We dynamize the medicine, and the quantity is so less that negligible, but the quality it holds is very high, very high. And we give minimum dose so that it does not cause any aggravation and treats the patient.
Okay, so basically you took from the ingredients positive things and you remove out the negative things and then you make a medicine for the common, I believe.
We take the thing, like the substance, we dynamize it. Like the negative thing that you are saying is, we can call it as what we can call it, we can call it as the harmful substance that the substance is holding, harmful thing. We not just remove, you can say we dynamize.
Reduce it. Yeah, you can reduce.
Reduce to such an extent that it only contains the medicinal properties only, to such an extent.
Okay.
The medicinal properties of that substance is left and nothing else.
So here the question comes is that what are the medicines I'm particularly made up of? What are the elements you use to make your medicines?
Okay, let me tell you. See, in homeopathy, we have different sources of medicines, like different. We also use plants, different types of plants. We use many plants to make medicines. Many plants, animal substances. We even use minerals. Actually, if you ask me, in literally in homeopathy, they make medicines from literally everything. Everything which has some medicinal properties in it, which even has some medicinal properties in it, and we can take them out after using our dynamization process. We just make it. Plants, animals, minerals, poisons, different poisons, even morbific substances. There are many sources of medicines.
That's nice.
Yeah. Actually, we can make medicines from everything. We just need to know that if that substance is holding those medicinal properties or not.
I think each and everything, as in naturopathy, we believe that each and everything has some kind of a medicinal property in it. For example, we use water as a treating the patient.
Okay.
So water is
Okay.
also having the
You also
healing
use
therapy.
natural water.
Yeah.
And how do you go with it?
There are different kind of methods, like we use externally and we use internally as well. So water, and we also use to combine with the
Okay.
color therapy as well. So color therapy, we give them charged color water. It will also have the healing powers of the water, and we give them externally as a different kind of a bath we have introduced. It is a one kind of hydrotherapy treatments we call it. So hydrotherapy is
Okay.
a vast, treating for in naturopathy. We use hydrotherapy the mostly.
Actually, I've heard in Chinese medicine also they use hydrotherapy and massage therapy. There are
Yeah.
different therapies in Chinese medicines also.
Yeah, they are all part of the
Maybe they
naturopathy as
are
well.
a bit. No,
Because
that is
naturopathy,
amazing. That is amazing.
yeah, naturopathy believes that each and everything has some kind of a healing property, so we can use to treat the patients. As we are drugless, so we use all the each and type of everything we come from the nature. We are using it to treat the patient.
All the elements that are
Yeah.
available in nature.
So same, I
That is
think it's
amazing.
mostly similar. You just make the medicine from it, and we just use it as externally and internally.
Next, yeah, we make medicines. We dynamize, we make medicines, we give in small amounts so that the patient is treated. Actually, it becomes a laborious process just because after proving there are so many symptoms.
Yeah.
I- First you identify the element, identify the medicinal substance, then you test it on human beings, then you note down the symptoms if they are correct or not, then you dynamize, then you prepare different potencies, you prepare, and then you give the patient after case taking.
And so it's a long process
So
of
it's a long
understanding the
process.
person.
uh it's a long process,
But I
but
think,
actually with
yeah,
experience it becomes short. Even I have
yeah.
seen doctors giving medicines like so easily.
They, after sometimes as the experience, you will understand that this person has a particular this kind of a personality. So this medicine will suit. Just our naturopathy
No,
we
no,
use.
no, no,
Okay,
no.
so
Actually, the thing is, even for to some extent you are correct in this sentence, but the thing is the constitution, like the basic constitution of a person changes with time.
okay,
It changes with different surroundings. Like once you are in school you are a different person, once you are in college you are a different person. There are happenings which happens, so you become a different person with time to time. The constitution like never, most of the
it's the
times,
same. Yeah.
remains same, but it only
Yeah.
causes changes in the mental symptoms. It does not cause changes in the physical symptoms, only mental.
So in homeopathy, you give the medicine, and through the medicine you treat. There is no particular external surgeries or anything treatment like that.
uh, we give medicines also, we give external ointments also. There are ointments,
Okay.
we only prepare the ointments from the medicines only. We can
Yeah.
give ointments, but as such, uh, Hahnemann was not in the favor of doing surgeries. He was like he can even treat the surgery. There are limitations. There are
Yeah.
limitations. You cannot treat an advanced surgical case. You have to do a surgery where it is required, where it is an emergency.
Hmm.
But if it's not an emergency, it is curable. Like, see, if we also treat if a person is having gallstones, they remove it. If the person is having if a female of 50 years or 55 is having fibroids or something, they'll remove the uterus. Their main function is removing, but we don't go to the process of removal until and unless it is required. If it is not required, you can treat the patient without removing the organ from the body, then we treat. But
Yeah,
if
that's the same we follow.
but if in but if in some case the patient had a great accident, he had so much external trauma, there is loss of muscle, loss of skin, if the bone is broken, there are many fractures, and this emergency, then you have to do a surgery. Like
Okay.
there are limitations. You have
Yeah,
you,
understood that.
the physician, you need to know in which case you have to make it fall.
In naturopathy, we also don't go for the surgery. We believe that our human body has itself a ability to heal itself.
Yeah, yeah. In
Body can heal
cases where
itself.
it is able, in cases where the body is able to heal, we will definitely. Why will we remove any organ from the body when it is not
Yeah,
required?
exactly. So
And
naturopathy and homeopathy, I believe, are so much of the similarities in between them.
yeah, just that there is a difference between drugs.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
as per my belief that naturopathy and homeopathy can go together. So, what are your
They
views there?
can definitely they can go together. Like if the person is taking homeopathic medicine, he can also go for naturopathy. He can also do you maybe you can you guys have different exercises or something like that.
Yeah, we have a different set of exercises as well.
Okay, then he can always opt for the always opt for both the methods continuously.
In naturopathy, we prescribe them a physiotherapy as well. We give them a yoga as well, and we, alongside
Oh,
with the other treatments, we give them a daily routine that this diet should be followed. It also
but
naturopathy, we give them a diet as well that it should be followed because it's based on the herbs and everything. So we prescribe the herbs that you should eat this kind of a diet because principle of naturopathy believes that the 70% of a human disease can be cured through diet only. So the only 30%
that
is required. So if we change
okay.
and maintain the
Actually,
diet, so we can treat the patient internally as well.
actually, we also prescribe a diet and regimen is something that a physician should always prescribe their
Yeah,
patient. I consider like if the
yeah,
person is
actually,
having a liver damage or something, you should always tell him not to eat fat, oily food, and everything. If the
definitely,
patient is the person is having a lung damage or something, you should definitely stop him from smoking. So diet and regimen is always required, and I also think that both the systems can go together. If the person is taking medicine and also doing physiotherapy and yoga with it, it is the most healthy way of living then.
So, as per you think, how in future naturopathy and homeopathy could combine, go alongside with that? So, how any suggestions or anything?
See, what I think is, as a homeopathic physician, I would definitely encourage and also encourage and would love to promote the different medicines altogether, medicinal fields altogether. Because if a patient is taking medicine and he is also following the natural way of healing the body, then he can be cured so rapidly. Like so,
Yeah,
even after taking, I have seen patients even after taking the medicine, they're not following what we are telling them to do. They're not following, they are having their sedentary lifestyle, they do not do any exercises and anything. And if the person is even after the medicine will not act. If you're not
definitely.
following a healthy lifestyle, the medicine will definitely not act. What do you think?
Obviously, because medicine is effect on the human body, and if you are not giving them the
Obviously,
proper atmosphere
you
inside the body, it won't work.
even in homeopathy they say if the maintaining cause is not removed, the medicine will not act. If a person who's very much addicted to alcohol, if he does not stop it, what will the medicine do then? So I definitely think that if the person is taking medicine and also going to the natural way of healing of the body and also doing some yoga, naturopathic treatment, physiotherapy, as you said, he will definitely be cured in a very less time and a very fascinating manner without causing any harm to the patient. And this is such a nice way that you suggested that we
Yeah,
can go for people. Some people know a less about going to different fields of medicine. They always think of getting treated in, like, in less time. They want the treatment in less time without doing anything themselves. If they
yeah.
cause changes in their own lifestyle na, they will live a very long life.
Actually, naturopathy also suggests that you follow the particular healthy lifestyle, maintain the healthy lifestyle, and you don't need a medicine as well. So we
That I also
follow the
suggest required when the body is asking for the medicine. If the body is capable enough of getting treated in the natural ways, then there's no need of medicine.
exactly. And
I'm
as
definitely
I
in this.
discussed with you, I believe that the basic principle of the naturopathy and homeopathy is same, so they
Is
can
same.
definitely go with together.
They can definitely go good. And yeah, the principle is same. Actually, see, the principle in every medicinal field is same. The thing is, they if they want to follow, and if they don't want to follow, if they don't want to follow, then nobody can help it, right?
Exactly.
This is amazing. This is really amazing. Actually, I got to know a lot about naturopathic way of treatment also. I had
But
a
it was an
basic little idea.
okay. But it was an interesting session for the us because in homeopathy we have just a first speaker today, so that we could go get so much of knowledge about
No,
the
no, no. It's
homeopathy.
it's an honor. It's an honor to share views and also get to know a lot about different medicinal fields, right? So that we can suggest our patients also.
Yeah, and I believe that in future, if the all the physician of a naturopath and homeopath would work together, then the society would come much healthier than right now.
Yeah,
And
and it will make a great difference. It's just that people
yeah, as
need to know the different
current
methods also.
atmosphere, we need it
No, no,
because
that's
right now,
that's really right. Nowadays, you see, you know the COVID situation right now, right?
yeah,
Why some people are suffering more and why some people are suffering less? What is the main reason? It's basically the immunity of the person.
yeah,
The immunity that is affected. If the person is having a great immunity, he's not suffering from any maintaining causes, he will develop mild symptoms and he'll get treated on his own. He does not need any medicines.
exactly.
And people are taking large amount of medicines. People are taking so many medicines. They have been taking so many medicines from a long time and their body is resistant now. Medicines don't even act on their body. They're not
Right
following
now,
a good
I think
lifestyle.
doctors are even
And
experimenting in the
I have
patients.
seen what are all the doctors saying. All the doctors are saying this, that just follow a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, be healthy, do exercises, stay at home. This is the main treatment. There's no treatment as such.
Yeah,
What is this? This is the natural way of treating without any medicines. What are we taking? No medicines.
that is what we prescribe.
So that is the thing.
A
It
healthy
all depends
lifestyle.
on the, yeah, that it all depends on the immunity.
So it was,
No,
a
it
really
is
great session and
very
great discussion today we had. A much informative session, and I believe.
thank you so much for having me here. No, seriously, and thank you so much for having. Thank you so much to Bhavi for contacting me and telling me for this amazing sessions that are happening in different parts of the country.
Yeah, actually, we are glad that we could connect with you and we have this opportunity to, discuss this such a particular topics and gain the knowledge. Because right now in pandemic, only things we can do is to, just share our knowledge and gain our knowledge from the persons like you. So we are glad that we
Yeah,
connected.
definitely. I will be very much thankful and very much grateful to you for having me here. And I definitely would love to help in future in
Sure,
any
sure.
need and any campaigns or anything. If you want me to take part in, I'll definitely be there. Thank you so much.
So we will look forward to it. And, in future, if we get a chance, we could connect with you and have a live session with you again so
For
that
sure.
after the pandemic is over.
For sure.
So
Thank
thank
you
you so
so
much,
much.
Muskan, for joining with us. And once again, we really loved and enjoyed the session. I hope everyone else who are listening right now is enjoying as well.
Yeah, surely. Okay.